Hello everyone, welcome to our next episode on the series on the Indian Premier League. This morning, we speak about Royal Challengers Bangalore, RCB, and the team that has been really good all the years of the IPL. And one of the reasons why RCB has been doing well is because of their captain, Virat Kohli. For years, they've done well, and their fans in Bangalore and all over the country are hoping that one day RCB will win their championships. In the past, they've had some really good players, Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, and many good players on the team. But every time they've failed to win a tournament. Now in this year, in 2023, they've made a really good recruitment in Faf, who is a former South African Test captain. He's now on the RCB team. And it is hoped that with the inclusion of Faf and Dinesh Karthik on that team, Maxwell on the team, Virat Kohli on the team, it is hoped that RCB will finally be able to win the IPL championship this year in 2023. And true enough, the first 2-3 games have been really good for RCB. Now, they've been doing well for the one reason that their opening pair of Faf du Plessis and Virat Kohli have been playing brilliantly well in the first 2-3 games. They've played some shots that are amazing. Very difficult to play the shots. They've given starts that are dream starts for any team. They've done exceptionally well, and their starts have helped them to win a couple of games right at the beginning of the championship. They have been absolutely outstanding. Impossible shots, impossible stamina for these people. Great scores they've got on the team, and this is because of a few reasons. So we're going to look at it. How is it possible that Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis have been able to play at that high level of batting? It's just impossible for the normal cricketer to play at that level. You don't have to go very far to find out why they perform at that big level. If you look at the lives of Faf du Plessis and Virat Kohli, there are a few things that are outstanding. Number one, they spend maximum number of hours in the gym every day. While their teammates are resting, while their teammates are relaxing, both of them, Kohli and Faf, are in the gym. They are practicing hard. The second reason why they do really well is because they do a lot of weight training. Because that's why when they play the shots, they're easily able to cover the ground and get sixes. They are really strong people who do a lot of weights. A third reason why these guys have been so good is their reflexes are fantastic. They do a lot of exercises that helps them to be quick on their feet and a sharp eyesight. One more reason why they're really good is they are good on their diet. They don't eat everything that the normal person would eat. They're very careful about their diets. They want to make sure that their weight is good. They're really good shape. Maybe the last thing what they do really well is no bad habits. They don't drink. They sleep early so that they get enough sleep and they're fit, match fit when the day comes on to play their games. Now, these are some reasons that are outstanding. They are gym fit. That's what I would call. Both Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis are gym fit when the match comes on the match day. That's why they've been so successful. I think every cricketer who does gym fit, who's gym fit, will be a fantastic cricketer like Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis. Now let's look at the Bible. We are going to look at Daniel chapter 6. We all know the story of this wonderful man of God called Daniel. He was a great administrator. He was picked up as a slave, as a refugee from another country and brought into another country. He and his friends are great guys, well-educated, sharp guys, and they've recruited for the government in the new country. Daniel is a good man, very capable administrator, does his job really well. Everybody loves him. Every king would go to ask him for counsel, and he was a very liked man. The only way you could ever find fault with Daniel was to find fault with his God that he worshipped. And so what happened was they came up with a plan how to trap Daniel. And they went to the king and very slyly brought a rule that said, anybody who prays to any other god other than the king should be put into the lion's den. Daniel does not know. He hears about it later. When he hears about the rule that nobody should worship anybody else, the first thing that Daniel does when he hears this rule is to go back to his room, open the windows towards Jerusalem, and worships God that he has worshipped every time. In all his life, he has prayed 3 times looking unto Jerusalem. That's what he has done. He's been doing his spiritual gym every day, and he goes and does the same thing. So the people notice it, go to the king and said, King, don't you know that you made this law and Daniel does not respect this law? When he knows there is a law that nobody should worship any other God, he worships his God and he does it 3 times a day. The king is really upset. He wants to save Daniel, but he cannot save Daniel. Daniel goes into the lion's den and miraculously God saves him. The king is super happy that his God was able to save Daniel from the lion's den. The king comes next morning and says, Daniel, how is it with you? And Daniel says, my God has been able to save me, my God, my Lord. He's good. And he comes out from there. What are the lessons? You look at Faf du Plessis and Virat Kohli and the gym fitness that they have, the super fit guys they are, and the way they play the game because of their super fitness. Then you look at Daniel and say, where does the strength come from this man? He is spiritually gym fit. He worships God. He prays 3 times a day. He doesn't fall for any temptations. He's not a corrupt man. He's a man of God. That's why he's spiritually gym fit when he faces the lion's den. What are the lessons that we can pick up from here? I look at it and say, am I spiritually gym fit? I don't know. I have to ask myself the question and say, am I spiritually fit to face the challenges of every day? Every day as I wake up in the morning, I have challenges. I have problems to attend to. And I have the strength. Daniel knew that his strength came from being spiritually gym fit every morning. Every day, 3 times a day, he would pray. And he would be in the presence of the living God. That's the lesson I will take away. I'll ask myself, am I spiritually gym fit? Or am I slack in my devotion to God? Do I really trust in Him? Do I follow Him? Do I love Him? Am I really, really a man of God that people would look at me like all the kings would look at Daniel and say, this is a man of God? Would people look at me and say, am I a man of God? And I'd go with this question to myself. Am I spiritually gym fit to face every problem that the world can throw to me? May God bless you as you process what we have heard about RCB, about Virat Kohli, about Faf, their style of life, and about Daniel and his love for God and his devotion to God and his spiritual fitness in God. May we process it and may we become better for the sake of the kingdom of God. God bless you.